Hello class, and welcome to this short little video that I'm going to make that hopefully my group members are going to share with you guys. I'm not here obviously, and I would like to thank Kyle and Margarita for doing the main portion of this presentation, but hopefully this helps a little bit. This weekend you should have read chapter 7, which was on trust, justice, and ethics. Which some of you probably did, some of you probably didn't do, and then some of you probably just skimmed or read the bulleted, highlighted words and kind of got the gist, but don't really fully understand what's going on. And so what I hope to do is convey to you a more meaningful definition of what trust is. And so to start off, this section is an individual mechanism in that chart thing that we have. And so first I'm going to read the definition of trust that the book gives, which is the willingness to be vulnerable to an authority based on positive expectations about the authority's actions and intentions. Trust would be equal to willing to be vulnerable, and risk is actually becoming vulnerable. So what the heck does that mean, and how can we apply it? So what I've done is made some little card things to show you guys. And so basically what the book does is puts it into 3 different trust-based definitions of things. And it's kind of like a timeline of how trust works, I guess. So here's what we got, the trust timeline. So we start at 1, which is the disposition-based trust. You go to 2, which is the cognition-based trust, and 3 is your affect-based trust. So we're going to start out here with number 1, the disposition-based trust. And the very first thing that we kind of learn about is trust propensity. And basically what that is, it's basically what everybody kind of thinks of as trust, an expectation that words, promises, and statements of people can be relied on. So whether you trust someone, I'll put this back up because this kind of has the definition written right there for you. So basically, I'll leave this up for just a couple more seconds. Sorry for moving it. Maybe pause it if you want to write all this down. And it's really the rational way of thinking of trust. And so with this here, trust propensity, I'm going to do a little activity, which is in the book, but I'm guessing most of you guys probably didn't do because I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't presenting on this chapter. So, but here you go. So this is just a little assessment. And basically what I'm going to do is read questions, and you're going to answer 1 through 5. If you strongly disagree, it's a 1. If you strongly agree, it's a 5. Of course, there's some weird, confusing grading scale. So on questions 1 and 4, you're going to subtract the answers from 6. So if you answer question 1 and you answer, what do I have written here? If you answer 2, you record 6 minus 2, which is 4. And then at the end, you're going to sum up all the answers, and this is going to give you a number, and with that number, you can determine whether you're trusting of people and or if you are suspicious of people. So the first question, remember this one you're going to subtract from 6. One should be very cautious with strangers. So, question 1, do you strongly agree? Do you disagree? Whatever. Write that down. Now, question 2, or I can repeat that. 1 should be very cautious with strangers. Okay. Number 2, most experts tell the truth about the limits of their knowledge. So that one's just going to be an answer, and that's the number that you're going to use to add everything up with. Number 3, Most people can be counted on to do what they say they will do. Most people can be counted on to do what they say they will do. All right, question 4. These days, you must be alert or someone is likely to take advantage of you. So that one you're going to subtract from 6. These days, you must be alert or someone is likely to take advantage of you. Question 5. Most salespeople are honest in describing their products. Question 6. Most repair people will not overcharge people who are ignorant of their specialty. Question 7. Most people answer public opinion polls honestly. Question 8. Most adults are competent at their jobs. All right. And if you need to go back in the video and you can re-listen or open to page 207, I believe, in the textbook, and the questions are in there. I guess I should have said that at the beginning. So yeah, once you have all your scores written down, sum all the answers, and basically if your score sums up to be above 21 or 21 or above, that means you tend to be trusting of people, which is, I would say, a good thing, maybe. And if your score is 20 or below, then this means you're often suspicious of people, which it's kind of going back to this little thing. It's pretty much nature and nurture, how you were raised and what goes on. So that kind of gives you that portion. So, yeah, whatever you're taught, basically. All right, so moving on, we're going to go to the second on the timeline here. So we just moved from 1. So this is maybe like when you first meet somebody, you're going to be in this little state. Now you're going to move to this cognition-based trust. So this cognition-based trust, yeah, right there. So eventually you can basically gauge how trustworthy one person is, or how not trustworthy this person is, probably, maybe. So this is kind of driven by track record. So let's say these people keep doing things that are making you believe in them. That would be good, and you can trust them. So we'll start off with the 3 things that basically create trustworthiness, and that's going to start with ability, which are basically that person's skills and areas of expertise, and etc. The second point is benevolence. It means they care for the well-being of you. So it's somebody who actually genuinely cares about you. Integrity. They do what they say. And this whole cognition-based is, like the previous one, is rational. So that's that. And we're going to move on to the third and final part of this, which is affect-based trust. And affect-based trust, it's trust based on feeling and fondness of the trustee. So basically we just trust them because we like them. And that's the third and final one, and it's emotional down here. And so to sum this all up, there's 3 factors that you need to know about trust, and that's disposition-based trust, cognition-based trust, and affect-based trust. And these 3 basically define how we look at trust. And the next 2 sections in this chapter will also combine some of these ideas and moral rights and how we view, I guess, just the world itself, and in the job place, in school here, and everything you do, you're going to trust somebody or you're not going to trust somebody. And yeah, so anyways, I hope you all guys have a good night, and Hopefully this was kind of informational and not too boring.